What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description, so if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave it a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming once more for 300 likes, and also don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So we're going to dive straight on in with the video. We've got no contract news once more. We're going to dive straight on in with the outs, and we've had a really big update on Ilkay Gundogan. So Pep Guardiola has been speaking about the future of Ilkay Gundogan. He spoke pre-match for Manchester City's game in the Club World Cup against Al Ain tonight, and he said that Manchester City have too many players right now, which does mean some Man City players are going to have to move on. He said he doesn't know anything in terms of Ilkay Gundogan leaving Manchester City after it has been reported yesterday that Ilkay Gundogan's agreed a contract and got personal terms agreed with Galatasaray of Turkey, but he does say that Ilkay Gundogan is with the Manchester City squad right now, and the plan is that he's going to stay with the Manchester City squad for the remainder of the Club World Cup. He said he's not sat down and spoke with Ilkay Gundogan yet, but does say that players do need to leave in this window because Manchester City have got 26, 27 players, which is too many, not just from a registration point of view, but too many that Pep Guardiola likes to work for. So there are going to definitely 100% be players leaving Manchester City in this transfer window, and I do suspect it's going to be a case where we're going to see some players leave before there may be some potential of more incomings for Manchester City, and I don't think City are done just yet when it comes to this transfer window. We've already got question marks over Kyle Walker, Jack Grealish and Calvin Phillips. I'm expecting all three of them named players to be leaving Manchester City this summer, along with James McAtee, because his contract's up in 12 months. Manchester City are not sitting down with McAtee to renew his contract. There is plenty of interest in McAtee this summer, so I'm expecting him to leave along with Kyle Walker, Jack Grealish and Calvin Phillips, and all them players are English, all them players are homegrown, and we do still have too many non-homegrown players at Manchester City in terms of our squad registrations when it comes to the Champions League. So with Ilkay Gundogan leaving, or potentially leaving, it does mean that Man City may still need another non-homegrown player to leave this summer, so then everybody can be registered for the Premier League and can also be registered for the Champions League as well. And it's been a case here where Man City have brought players in because we've got a bigger registration window for the Club World Cup than we do for the Premier League and also for the Champions League, although right now we are okay when it comes to registrations in the Premier League. We're not okay when it comes to the Champions League, so some players do need to leave, and it's looking like Gundogan's going to be one of them players. And if I was to single out another non-homegrown player to leave, I imagine it's going to come in the form of Claudio Echeverri, who I reckon is going to be loaned out before the end of this summer transfer window. I am still waiting on some updates on Ederson and on Stefan Ortega as well. They're both entering the last 12 months of their contract. We've already had clarity on Bernardo Silva, as he's confirmed he's going to be staying for at least the next 12 months. He has 12 months left on his Manchester City contract, so if he doesn't renew his Manchester City contract, then the new Manchester City captain will be leaving next summer. We also have John Stones' future to sort out, as his contract does expire next summer as well. So they're the players that we're looking at here that we need further clarity on in this summer transfer window as we head into what's still going to be pretty much a transition over the coming 12 months or so for Manchester City, as we're seeing a lot of experienced players who have won a lot for Manchester City continuing to leave the club as City look to bred in the new blood for the club. So it'll be interesting to see who City do choose to add. But I think the big question here is Ilkay Gundogan leaving Manchester City. Galatasaray already got the personal terms agreed. Apparently the fee's going to be either very small, maybe even for free. Ilkay Gundogan does leave. The question is he going to be replaced? And I feel like we've already brought Tijani Reinders in, as he is seen as that player that's going to replace Ilkay Gundogan, and with us already having that midfield cover in place with the likes of Mateo Kovacic, Nico Gonzalez that was brought in the January transfer window, and having Rodri as well, you feel like Man City, in terms of the players who can play in defensive midfield and the double pivot and the number 8, kind of already covered, even if Ilkay Gundogan does leave. The question is, Man City do still have some space when it comes to homegrown players being brought in. Will Manchester City maybe just want to add another player into their midfield, in particular with the case that we're looking at here where maybe Bernardo Silva's not going to be here in 12 months? Do we want to bread somebody else in over the next 12 months so they can take over instead, in particular if it is going to be a homegrown player, and in particular Morgan Gibbs-White being linked with a move to Manchester City from Nottingham Forest. Anyway, the other player I want to speak about in today's video is John Stones. He's done an interview with ESPN ahead of Manchester City's match against Al Ain in the Club World Cup, and he shut down any rumours linking him with the exit door. He'd been linked with a move to Everton earlier in this summer transfer window, and John Stones has shut them down and says, I'm shutting these rumours down right now. He wants to stay at Manchester City this season. He says that he wants to end all speculation. He wants to focus on getting fit and helping Manchester City for their achievements and aims for the upcoming season. John Stones' contract, of course, up in the summer. Manchester City will be keeping an eye on his injuries and his performances before making any judgment calls on the future of John Stones. And again, somebody who we need clarity on in the coming 12 months, just like many other players in the Manchester City first team squad. As I said, this transition isn't going to be complete and done in this summer transfer window. It's going to continue into the next January transfer window and even into next summer as well. So yeah, plenty for me to keep my eyes and ears open for as we're heading into what I think is going to be a really interesting port of call in this summer transfer window for Manchester City. So if you do want to stay up to date with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube, then make sure you have subscribed to my channel. It is free to subscribe. We're aiming for 45,000 subscribers, less than 300 subs away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. You can find them in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 300 likes. Any help towards that will be much appreciated. And also don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. Ilkay Gundogan may be looking set for a move to Galatasaray. What should Manchester City do next in the transfer window when it comes to potentially maybe finding a replacement for Ilkay Gundogan, or should we be looking at other positions? Would you like to see City focus on the right back position? Would you like to see another central midfielder added? Would you like to think long term about a player coming in who can maybe take over from Bernardo Silva? Do you want extra cover in defensive midfield and that number 8 and that double pivot for Manchester City? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.